I'm Bart Riley. I understand as creative people, it can be stressful when not creating, the feeling that you're not working enough. So, for the subject of today's video, I thought I'd change things around. Move things in closer, be more intimate, and give you a chance to relax as I wash creativity over you. The creativity that I can't use myself. Because the theme of this idea is a video game based on ASMR. If you don't know what that is, the autonomous sensory meridian response, the tingly feeling in the back of your head from certain sounds or sensations. This was actually one of the earliest projects I picked for this series, Ideas to Inspire Ideas, but I didn't want to do it until I got a new audio recorder, which took a very long time for me to get. So what was supposed to be in the first 7 episodes became early 30s. Whoops. But other than just general ASMR, the specific inspiration for this was Goodnight Moon and her series Babblebrook, a fantasy world with witches and mermaids and cozy little inns with crackling fire and so on. A side idea I considered was a theory video on the lore of Babblebrook, which I never got far into because I kept falling asleep watching the videos, which doesn't help. I'd also like to point out Lily's Library, a developer blog, if you will, on designing a video game about a library with its own ASMR elements. And in research I only found 2 examples of games with the ASMR aesthetic. Universe, which is more of a playlist sound effect game, and Star, which is more a business simulator, making your own videos and responding to audience feedback. So this particular idea is very open for the taking, as far as I know. I'll get more into the actual mechanics a bit later, but the first question I had was either first person or third person. ASMR is very first person, like looking into the camera, talking to the audience. So why I considered third person, mainly for Night in the Woods, even so far as considering a character customization screen with fully inclusive randomization of body type, race, gender, which I suppose already exists in The Sims, but doesn't make sense if it's not third person. But that's actually an issue I had with the Gregory Horror Show franchise. The show was in first person, but the game went for a third person mode, which first person horror is right there. So easy. But so instead, doing it in first person does make a lot more sense. And it is just you as the player going around this small little town, exploring the shops, talking to the locals who are all soft-spoken and very friendly. Just a pleasant experience to be in. In my head, it was more of the small-town Australian vibe that I grew up in, but it can be the Babblebrook fantasy. It can be whatever your country's little town aesthetic is. Some other time period. It's totally up to you. And what we experience in that town is different genres of ASMR. You can have the hairdressers, the crafts and fabrics shop, maybe go out into the wilderness and find a trickling stream or pat a cat and hear them purring. the cozy tavern with the murmurs of a small crowd and crackling fire, possibly a restaurant with clattering cutlery, if you wish. Just the cozy little place to adventure in. Quite nice. Bit of ASMR for you there. Gameplay wise, I had a specific system in mind for this, which I'm just going to read out. Please choose your level of interaction. 0 for sleep or other activities. Let the game play itself and just enjoy listening to a series of randomly encountered adventures. This is just like a YouTube playlist that doesn't include deafeningly loud ads in between each video. 1 for light distraction or relaxation. Explore a whole world of calmness and chat with unique characters at your own leisure, which is, just as it says, exploration through the town or natural environments around it. This section can have a favorites option where you find a particular interaction that you like, you can save it and put it in the playlist for the first setting. 2 for engagement in narrative. Discover and drive an interconnected story throughout your many pleasant encounters, going around talking to characters, learning about them, being pleasant to everyone. You can give hugs if you want. And 3 for full concentration. Immerse yourself in a collection of puzzles and brain teasers as you venture forth. The puzzles are the focus, interacting with characters in order to get the puzzles and challenge yourself. Now, the purpose of this game, as I see it, is for people like me with autism or others with ADD or ADHD or other neurological conditions that make it difficult to go out and shop or do things in public. They can just turn this on, play it through their headphones, and go on with their business. I have autism, my son has autism and has sensitivity to loud noises, so it's something that he could play while we do our shopping. So for distribution, I can see this on the Switch or other portable game consoles or phones. Something to travel with. In another project I'm working on, I've been looking at different gaming generations and commonalities within each generation. And with the modern era that we're going through now, I've noticed that the commonality is customization, not just in how we play the games, but how we experience the games. The behind the scenes settings. So in that sense, having a smaller game experience allows for a lot more customization. Can look at it as, instead of having a larger game world, we have multiple realities of the same small world. Having a smaller game experience can lead to more options throughout, and I think that would be quite nice. Thanks for watching. This is my verbal declaration that I will not sue anyone for using the previous outline to create their own work, regardless of how much fame or money you might get from it. I'm definitely not the kind of artist who thinks I can own a concept. However, I would like to see what comes out of this video just for comparison and curiosity. If you do make something or find an existing piece that's similar, please let me know through Twitter or Facebook or email, and I'll happily check it out. And if you want to see the ideas I am working on for myself, please visit my Patreon page for samples and previews, no payment required. Happy creating, Bart Riley out. I'm not actually listening to myself in these headphones, I'm listening to the backing music because I myself, with my autism, need to stay calm when filming, or I just can't talk on camera. Despite the fact this series is supposed to be less scripted, less edited, I do stumble over my words a lot. So I want to keep myself calm for this video. It's not working.